So welcome back students to today's session of analysis of rates. So we were studying analysis of rates of various items of work. So we have covered up till brickwork. So today we will start with the half brick thick wall. Okay. So I had told you when they mention you the thickness in the specification. So here you can see they have mentioned the thickness. Hence this particular dimension should not be taken into account for the calculation. So if you leave out this 10 centimeter thick, right? It is 10 centimeter thick wall. This is 10 centimeter. So this is half brick thick. So what we have to do? We have to leave this dimension. So we have to consider the other two dimensions. That is this 0.1, that is 10 centimeter, and this particular dimension, that is 20 centimeter, right? So you can see here for the calculation of bricks, we have taken the other two, that is we have taken 100 square meters as the required dimension of the wall. Okay, assumed that the wall is to be constructed of 100 square meters. So how many bricks are required for this 100 square meter of construction? We require 5,000 number of bricks. Okay, 5,000 number of bricks. So this is the thing that you have to remember when you are constructing a half brick thick wall. Okay, in cement mortar 1:3, this will be given to you. Okay, now what is the particular mortar given to you? Based on that, you can calculate. The number of cement bags, the number of sand required. I have told you how to do all those calculations. Okay, so here one thing is the volume of mortar is taken to be 35% of the volume of work. Okay, volume of mortar is to be taken as 35% of the volume of work. So that is coming as 3.5 cubic meters. Then due to half brick work, volume of mortar becomes 10% less. This is one important thing you have to remember. When you are constructing a half brick thick wall, you have to take 10% less mortar. So minus 10%, you will be left out with 3.15 cubic meters. Okay, once you know the cubic meter, you can easily calculate the quantity of cement and the quantity of sand required. Okay, quantity of cement and sand. Always make sure you write the cement quantity in bags. The cement quantity in bags we have written 23 number of bags. Okay, so the rest of the things are same. You can write down this particular table. You know how to prepare this table. Here, what you have to do is make sure you add this particular reinforcement because it is a half brick, right? It is a 10 centimeter thick wall. Make sure you add this reinforcement, that is mild steel bars, 6 mm dia. Every fourth layer or hoop iron. Okay, every fourth layer. So lump sum they have taken as 40 kg. Okay, remember 40 kg is required for 100 square meter of construction, 100 square meter of wall construction. We require 40 kgs of this mild steel bars. Okay. Then some lump sum items like scaffolding, rope, etc. we have taken as 150. Then labors and all you can write down. You calculate the grand total, divide it by 100. Okay, 100 square meter is the assumption we had made initially. So divide it by 100 to get the rate per meter square. That is 609 rupees per meter square. So we have seen the calculation or the analysis of rates for brickwork. Okay, brickwork, which is half brick thick. Okay, 10 centimeter thickness. Okay. So now moving on to the next thing. Hollow brick. Okay, hollow brick masonry in cement mortar. So hollow brick size they will give you, that is 40 into 20 into 20. So previously we have calculated for what? The brick size, burnt brick clay was of size 0.1 into 0.1 into 0.2, right? It was 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 20 centimeter. Here you can see it is double the size. Hollow brick masonry, the brick size here is double. Block size here is double. So based on this, you can do the calculations. So remaining calculations as we have done in the burnt brick clay here as we have done. Same thing you have to do. Same thing, the calculation remains same, but the size of the brick only changes. So depending upon that, you can write down your materials, right? Quantity of materials. Then you can calculate the labors that are required and you can do the rate analysis. This is for hollow brick masonry. Now, moving on. So here also you can see this is also for hollow brick masonry, but the size of the brick they have given here, different size of brick they have given, the different size of block they have given. It is 40 into 10 into 20. Okay, so the remaining things are same. Now moving on to the next thing. Here you can see in this particular example, they have used a solid block masonry. Solid block masonry, brick size is also same, and the cement mortar is 1:4. So this is easy. You can do the same type of calculation. You can do same steps you can follow, and you can prepare this analysis of rates. Okay, so this is regarding brickwork. Okay, the same things are there. Now coming to stone masonry. Stone masonry. Very similar to brickwork. A few changes are required in stone masonry. It is very similar to brickwork. Okay, here we are dealing with random rubble masonry. Remember random rubble masonry? I hope you remember random rubble masonry. It is in cement mortar 1:6. Okay, we are dealing in foundation and in plinth. Okay. Here it is in cubic meter that we calculate, right? Hence we have to assume 10 cubic meters. Okay, 10 cubic meters we have assumed. Stone. Okay, what you have to do here is we have to take some wastage. Okay, do not take the 10 cubic meter as the material required. Okay, 10 cubic meter of stone, do not take some extra quantity. Okay, take some. They have taken 2.5% extra, 2.5% extra, 2.5 extra. Hence it will become 10 plus 2.5, 12.5 cubic meters. 12.5 cubic meter is the required stone for building this particular wall using random rubble masonry. Okay, considering some amount of wastage. Now, mortar, we require some amount of mortar. So here mortar they have assumed as 35%. Okay, 35% of the volume of work. 35% of the volume of work is what? 35% of 12.5. Right, 35% of 12.5, that is equal to 4.2. Okay, 4.2 is what? It is in dry condition. Okay, dry condition. Okay, then if you know the cubic meter, then the next step that you have to do is calculation of cement, right? Calculation of cement and sand. Calculation of cement and sand is easy, right? 1:6 is the proportion that they have given us. Then this 4.2 divided by the summation of the proportion. Summation of the proportion, that is 1 plus 6, will give you quantity of cement. You can convert that to bags, right? I hope you remember how to convert it to bags. Divide it by 0.0347. If you divide this particular cubic meter number by this number, you will get in bags. Sand, coming to sand, it is into 6, right? Into 6, you will get in cubic meters. Whatever is the cement quantity, multiply by the proportion. That is, here it is 6. Hence, multiplied by 6, you will get the quantity of sand. Okay. So the remaining things are same. Remaining things are same. Make sure look into what are the required number of masons, and you have to remember this. Okay. So for brickwork and stone masonry, it will be similar, but for stone masonry, it will be slightly more compared to brickwork. Okay. So coming to next thing, you can see here we are dealing with random rubble masonry. Same random rubble masonry, cement mortar ratio is also same. So the calculation part will be same. You can see the calculation that we have done over here and the previous numerical is same. Okay. So we will look into the next thing. Okay. So after random rubble masonry, now we will look into coursed rubble masonry. Coursed rubble masonry. So you can see we will assume 10 cubic meters, right? So considering some amount of wastage, that is 2.5 or 3% of wastage, you can consider. So the total volume of work is, or the total volume of cement required is 12.5 cubic meters, 12.5 cubic meters. Now, here in coarse rubble masonry, we require lesser amount of mortar. We will require lesser amount of mortar because in random rubble, there are a larger amount of gaps and it is randomly placed, right? As stones are randomly placed, hence there will be more number of gaps, or more, it will be very coarse in nature, right? It will be very coarse in nature, hence we require large amount of mortar, that is 35% of mortar we require. But here in coarse rubble masonry, the stones are properly placed. They are properly placed. Hence, we require lesser quantity of mortar because the gaps are smaller in size. Okay, so we will assume 30% of mortar volume is required. That is the total volume of work. Take 30% of that. Take 30% of that. So 30% of 12.5, we take the volume of mortar as 4 cubic meters. Okay, 4 cubic meters. Okay. Coming to next, we know how to calculate cement and sand quantity after that, and you can prepare this particular table. Okay, same thing as we have done in the previous random rubble. So here this particular is also same. Coming to ashlar masonry. After coarse rubble masonry, we have to look into ashlar. So we know that ashlar is much more finer compared to your coarse rubble masonry, wherein our bricks or our stones are finely chiseled and the sides are properly cut. Right, they are properly cut into shape, and hence the joints will be very small. Joints will be proper. There will be no much gaps between two stones. There will be proper placement of your stones because they are properly sized and they are properly cut. Okay, hence we require lesser amount of mortar because the gaps are smaller and the bricks are properly cut. So we can take 20% of that, 20% of volume of work. Okay, so that is the only change required in this particular masonry. Okay, so remember in random rubble we take 35% of the volume as mortar volume. In coarse rubble we take it as 30%. And in ashlar masonry we take 20% of the volume of work as the volume of mortar required. So this is what is we have looked into what we have looked into brickwork. Now moving on to flooring. I hope brickwork is clear. I hope brickwork and stone masonry work is clear. If any doubt, you can ask. If you didn't understand any of the calculation also, if you want me to explain any calculation, let me know. So can we move on to flooring? Can you move on to flooring work? Yes. Can you move on to flooring? Are you there? Please reply so that I know I am correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we shall move on to flooring. So here in flooring, we will assume usually 100 square meters, okay, 100 square meters as the flooring required, okay, flooring that we will consider as 10 square meters. Now, usually they provide you in the thickness of the flooring, okay, usually they will provide the thickness of the flooring. So 2.5 centimeter thick flooring we have to provide here in cement concrete 1:2:4. Okay. Now cement quantity usually we calculate in cubic meters, right? Cement concrete calculate, okay. Volume of concrete we usually calculate, right? So depending upon the proportion and the thickness, we have to calculate the quantity of cement. The quantity of concrete in cubic meters. Right? I have told you concrete you have to usually calculate in meter cube. So now we will look into how do we calculate. So what we will do is 100 square meters is what the area, surface area of the concrete required, surface area of the concrete, and the thickness that they have told us, the thickness of this layer is 2.5 centimeter thickness. So area into thickness will give you the volume, right? Area into thickness will give you the volume of concrete that is required. So area is 100 square meters. You can see 100 square meter and 25 centimeter thick, 25 centimeter, sorry, 2.5 centimeter. So that is 0.025 meters, 0.025 meters into 100 square meter area. You will get the volume of concrete that is required, that is 2.5. Okay, so we have calculated the volume of concrete. After you calculate the volume of concrete, we have to consider some amount of extra things. So adding 10% extra for unevenness. Okay, remember you have to add 10% extra for unevenness of the base. So the base will be usually rough, right? So to make it even, we require some quantity, right? So that quantity we have taken as 10% of extra. Then to convert that dry volume, to convert this wet volume to dry volume, okay, to convert this wet volume, that is 2.75 cubic meter is wet volume of concrete required. This is wet volume of concrete. To convert it, right, we usually go for 54% or we can go for 50%, anything. Okay, so they have added here 50% extra to convert it to dry volume. Okay, so to convert it to dry volume, adding 50% extra. So we have arrived at 4.125 of cubic meter of concrete that is required. Okay, concrete. So once you have calculated the volume of concrete, I've told you calculation of next thing is easy. Calculation of cement, sand, and coarse aggregate. Okay, to calculate the cement quantity, what you have to do? Divide this particular volume by the summation of the proportion proportion. So proportion given here is 1:2:4. So the summation you have to do, and you have to divide that, calculate in bags, okay, cement in bags. Then this particular cement volume multiply by the proportion of the sand to get the sand quantity. Multiply this cement quantity by the proportion of coarse aggregate, that is 4, to get the quantity of coarse aggregate. So we have done this previously, the same steps we have to follow over here. Now, for neat cement surface finishing, additional 6 bags are required. So this is a thumb rule. You can take 5 bags, you can take 6 bags. You remember, take in this particular range. Okay, don't take 12 bags, double this quantity. Don't take for 10 square meters, for 100 square meters, right? We have assumed 100 square meters. For 100 square meters, we require around 5 bags. You can remember, for 100 square meters, we require 5 bags of cement. 5 bags of cement for what? For neat cement surface finishing. For neat cement surface finishing. So this has been given in the question with neat cement finishing at the top. Hence, we are adding this particular extra 5 bags or 6 bags. If they do not mention this particular statement, you can skip on this process, or you can skip on this step. Okay, so the rest of the things are same. You know how to prepare this table, write down the materials, and write down the labors that are required. So in the end, what you have to do, you have to divide the grand total by the assumed value, right? Divide by 100 square meters, get the quantity in rupees per meter square, rupees per meter square. So 1209 rupees per meter square is the rate per square meter. Okay, so this is regarding flooring. Okay, we have calculated regarding flooring. So remaining things you can calculate, you can look into these particular examples later on. So you can see the thickness of the flooring is given, okay, and the proportion is given, okay, and the proportion is given. Square meters you can assume 100, and material calculation is same as we have done in the previous, and you have to prepare this particular table. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Here you can see we are dealing with what? We are dealing with 40 centimeter, 40 mm thick flooring. Okay, 40 mm thick flooring with an under layer of 30 mm thick. 40 mm thick flooring under layer of, okay, this is the under layer, meaning this is 40 mm thick. Okay, so 40 mm thick flooring, and the under layer or the base layer is 30 mm thick. So I have drawn a figure over here. You can see the total flooring is 40 mm thick. The total flooring is 40 mm thick, and the under layer is 30 mm thick. Okay, so what is this top layer now? It is 10 mm. Okay, the top layer is 10 mm. So this is the statement. This is what they have given us. So it has 2 layers. The base layer is 30 centimeter and the top layer is 10 centimeters. Okay, so the top layer they have given, it is of cement concrete in 1:2:4 with 10 mm thick red oxide. Okay, so the top layer is 10 mm thick, made up of red oxide of cement plaster 1:3, and the base is made up of cement concrete 1:2:4. Okay, so the base is 1:2:4, and the top layer is of red oxide finishing cement plaster 1:3. You have to calculate separately for both these layers. Okay, so the total quantity we have assumed as 100 square meters. Okay, 100 square meters is the floor area that we have to cover. Okay, 100 square meters. Okay. Now for the 30 centimeter, 30 mm thick cement concrete flooring in 1:2:4. Right. So we know how to calculate this. Multiply the thickness by the area you will get in volume. Right. The thickness is 30 mm. So 0.03 into 100, right, you will get in volume. So next is what? Add 10% extra for unevenness, take 50% extra for dry volume. You can calculate the cement, sand, and coarse aggregate quantities, right? So depending upon the proportion, you can calculate cement, sand, and coarse aggregate proportion. So this is for the under layer. Now for the top layer, we are considering 10 mm thick in cement mortar 1:3. Okay. Now for the calculation of mortar, what you have to do, the thickness multiplied by the area. Thickness multiplied by the area, you will get the volume, that is 1 cubic meter. Okay. Now what you have to do here, take extra 20% for rough underbed. the bed will be, the bed which you prepare will be uneven. So to level this particular thing, we have to take 20% extra of mortar, 20% extra of mortar. Okay, so that is done. So we have added 20% extra, then 1/3 extra for dry volume, 1/3 extra to convert it to dry volume. So remember one thing. So for concrete to convert it to dry volume, we take usually 50 to 54%, 50% to 54% we take to convert it to dry volume, right? From wet volume to convert it to dry volume, we take almost 50 to 54%. But for mortar, we take around 30%, right? 35%, 35%, or what we say as 1/3. Okay, 1/3 of extra volume, 1/3 of extra volume. So you can see we are taking 1/3 extra volume to convert it to dry. Okay, to convert it to dry. So 1/3 extra we have taken. So this is the total quantity now, 1.6, after adding 20% extra for unevenness and 1/3 for converting it to dry volume. So 1.6 is the volume that is required. Convert this volume to cement and sand. Okay, we know how to convert it to cement and to sand. So cement, make it in bags. Okay, remember. Now the next thing here is floating coat. For floating coat, or that is the top coat, what you have to provide here, you have to assume 2.2 kgs per square meter of cement is required. Okay, per square meter of area, we require how many bags of cement? Sorry, how many kgs? 2.2 kgs of cement is required. 2.2 kgs of cement is required per square meter of area. So here we have assumed how much? 100 square meters, right? We have assumed 100 square meters, and you can hence you can multiply it by 2.2. So 220 kgs of cement is required. 220 kgs. So 220 kgs. 220 kgs divided by 50. That is the weight of one bag, right? Weight of one bag. So how many bags? 4.4. Okay, so what thumb rule here you can assume here is, you can round this 4.4 to 5 bags, right? 4.4 you can round off to 5 bags. So for every 100 square meter, right? Not 10, it is 100. For every 100 meter square of area, you require 5 number of bags. Okay, 5 number of bags of cement as floating coat. Okay, so this you can remember. Instead of taking 4.4, you can remember that for every 100 square meter of area, you require 5 bags of cement for floating coat. Okay, so this is done. Then afterwards, what you can do, this the 5 number of bags are required for floating coat, and 11.76 bags are required for this base course, right? Okay, so adding all these quantities, so the total number of bags that are required are 17 in number. Okay, 17. So 16.15, you can round it off to 17. So 17 number of bags are required of cement for this particular top layer. Okay, for this particular top layer. Then coming to red oxide quantity, remember this thumb rule. So it is 3 kgs of red oxide per bag. 3 kgs per bag. Okay, 3 kgs per bag. So how many bags are required here? 16.16 or 17 number of bags, right? We have calculated 17 number of bags of cement. As I've told you, 3 kgs of red oxide is required per bag. So 3 kgs into 17, you will get the total quantity, that is 57 kgs, 57 per kg. Sorry, 57 kgs. So you can assume 3 kgs, or if you remember exactly, it is 3.5 kgs per bag. Okay, so 3.5 into 17, 3.5 into 17, you will get 57 kgs of red oxide that is required for this particular flooring. Okay, that is 100 square meter of flooring. You require around 57 kgs of red oxide. Okay. Once you calculate this, all these quantities of materials, you can make this particular table, write down all the material quantities, write down their rates, multiply and get the amount. Okay, labor is easy. You can remember what are the labors required. You can write down, and after you calculate the grand total, after you calculate, make sure you divide it by the assumption. 100 square meters assumption you divide and write down the rate in per square meters. Okay. Now moving on to mosaic tile flooring. Mosaic tile flooring, I hope you remember mosaic tile flooring wherein we had mosaic tiles, right? Mosaic tiles, and they had some chippings of marbles, right? The usual middle class flooring that is there in India. Okay, mosaic tile flooring. So it is prepared on a base course of cement concrete 1:4:8. Okay, 1:4:8 base course of cement concrete. So we are dealing with mosaic tile flooring over a base course of cement concrete 1:4:8. So the thickness of this base course is assumed to be 2.5 centimeters. Okay, thickness of the base course over 2.5 centimeters. And we are assuming the area that we have to cover is 100 square meters. Okay, area that is required to be floor is 100 square meters. Now coming to calculation of materials, we know, right, the thickness we have to multiply by the area thickness, that is 2.5 centimeter thick they have given us, multiply by the area, you will get the volume. Okay, volume. Next, as we have done similarly, adding 10% extra for unevenness, adding 50% extra to convert it to dry volume. Okay, so from this we have got the total volume of cement, the total volume of concrete that is required, that is 4.125. Convert this volume of concrete to cement, sand, and coarse aggregate, right? Cement in bags and sand and coarse aggregate in volume, right? Meter cube. Okay. Now this is for the base course. We have calculated A, that is for base course. Now coming to the second, that is for top layer. For top layer, we are using what? We are using tiles, right? We are using tiles. So 100 square meter is the area that we have to cover. We have to assume 10% of wastages. Okay, add 10% of wastages. So 110 square meters of mosaic tiles are required. Okay, so this is the volume, sorry, this is the area of tiles that is required, 110 square meters. Okay, so the base course is layer, base course is over, top layer is also over. So now we have to prepare this particular table, right? Material quantities writing for the base course is easy, right? Cement, sand, and coarse aggregate we can easily write. Now coming to this top layer and finishing. Here, mosaic tiles are 20 mm thick, no problem. Mosaic tiles 20 mm thick. Right, mosaic tiles 20 mm thick, and the square meter of mosaic tiles that is required is 110, right? We have calculated 110 square centimeters of mosaic tiles are required. Okay. Now for this particular mosaic tiles, we need some slurry, right? We need some slurry for bedding, right? We prepare some slurry, and on top of that slurry, we paste our tiles. So for this cement slurry, what we can assume is 8.8 kgs of bags, right, required for 10 for 100 square centimeters, right? What we can assume is 100, sorry, not square centimeters, for 100 meters square, right? What we have assumed 100 square meter of flooring, we can assume that we require 10 bags. Okay, 10 bags of cement, 10 bags of cement slurry, 10 bags of cement that is required for preparation of this slurry. Okay, instead of 8.8, you can take 10 bags. Okay, you can round it off, you can take 10 bags, no problem. Okay, so remember this thumb rule: for 100 square meter of flooring area, we require 10 bags of cement for preparation of slurry. Okay, so 10 bags of cement we have written, and 10 bags of what? 10 bags of cement is required for grouting. Okay, usually this grouting is not required, so much amount of grouting is not required. Okay, but they have taken, so you can assume that same amount of bags are required for cement grouting. Okay, cement grouting. And then this pigment we have to consider, dark pigment, pigment that you have to mix, 3.5 kg per bag of cement for grouting. 3.5 kg of 3.5 kg per bag of cement for grouting. Okay, convert for per kg, per bag, that is 3.5. You have to multiply here 3.5. Okay, 3.5, so it will be 35 kgs. 35 kgs of pigment is required. Okay, 35 kgs of pigment which you have to mix in this particular grouting, right? Which you have to mix. Okay, so this is for your top layer and finishing, top layer and finishing. So we require 110 square meters of mosaic tiles. We require 10 kg, 10 bags of cement for bedding, right, and 10 bags for grouting. Okay, along with this, we require 35 kgs, 35 kgs of pigment. Okay, 35 kgs of pigment. Okay, so material quantity is quantity calculation is done. Next, labor quantity. Labor quantity you can write down here. Here you have to remember we need polishers. Okay, we need polishers and we require machines for polishing. Okay, we require machines. Okay, and because we have machines, we require some we require some sundries, right? We require some extra materials and tools for this particular finishing. So that we will consider as a lump sum, right? We require this carborundum stones, right? We require carborundum stones we require for polishing. So we will consider that under sundries. Okay, and lump sum quantity we will consider as 2000. You can take anything around this 2000. Okay, depending upon how much quantity your flooring is. So once you prepare this particular table, you can calculate the grand total. Remember, at the end you have to divide it by the assumption that we have made, that is 100 square meters. Okay, once you divide it, you will get the rating per square meters. Okay. So similarly, once you have done that, you can prepare for other materials also. For other materials, right? For granite stone flooring, 20 thick. Okay, 20 thick laid on a base course of 20 thick cement mortar, 1:4. Okay, here we have assumed 10 square centimeters. 10 square centimeters. We have not assumed 100 square centimeters. Usually flooring we assume 100, but here for granite we are assuming 10 square centimeters. Okay, so here calculation of materials, right? Usual thing that we do, 20 centimeter is the thickness, right? 20 mm. So 20 mm converted to meters, multiply by the area, that is 10 square meters. You will get the volume. Okay, volume of concrete. Okay. Sorry, volume of not concrete, volume of mortar we are calculating, right? You can see here. So this is laid on cement mortar. Cement mortar is 1:4. There is no concrete mentioned. So this is of mortar. So calculation of mortar we have done, volume of mortar, total volume of mortar. Add 20% extra for this unevenness, right? Unevenness of the bed, right? Unevenness of the bed. Add 20% extra. And I've told you for mortar what we assume. We assume 1/3 extra. We assume 1/3 extra to convert it to dry volume. Okay, you can assume 30 to 35% or 35% you can assume extra, or 1/3 you can assume extra. Okay, why we are assuming this extra? To convert this wet volume to dry volume. Okay, to dry volume we are assuming this particular extra. Okay, so after this conversion, calculation of the total volume we have done, that is 0.32 cubic meter of volume of mortar is required. Okay, mortar. This volume of mortar you can convert it to cement, volume of cement and volume of sand. Okay, cement bags, how many are required? 1.88 bags of cement are required. Okay. So granite flooring, this particular material calculation is done. Then looking into this table here, you can see material granite slab they have considered. Okay, granite slab of 10 square centimeters. Granite slab, okay, of 10 square centimeter we have considered. Okay, now what we will do is we will consider some amount of wastage. 15% of wastage we have added. Okay, so to this 10 we have to add what? 15% as wastages and breakages. So it will come around 11.5 square centimeters. Okay, so 11.5 square centimeters of granite slab we will be ordering, or we will be requiring this amount of quantity. Okay, then after this is done, then carrying of slabs, we require this slab to be carried, right? This slab is to be carried, hence we will take that as lump sum. Okay, carrying of the slab we will take as lump sum 100 rupees for carrying of the slab or transportation of the slab. Then this quantity we have done, right? Cement sand quantity we have done. You can write that down and you can calculate here. Then one extra thing they have done over here is cement for slurry over bed. Cement for slurry over bed, I have told you, you can take 5. Okay, you can take 5 kgs of 5 kg right? As assumption, you can take 5 kg per square meter, okay, per square meter, per square meter. Okay, so you can convert that. It has come up to 1 bag. Okay, it has come up to 1 bag. So cement required for per square meter, I have told you it is 5, right? It is 5. So 5 into 10 square meters, right? 5 into 10 square meters. That is what we have assumed, right? 10 square meter of assumption we had made of flooring. So 5 into 10 is 50 kgs. That is nothing but 1 bag, right? 50 kgs, 1 bag. Now, mason, you can write down these, all these things, labors quantity you can write down. Make sure you add this sundries, okay? Sundries for what? Carriage of cement, okay? Carriage of cement and some tools that are required. So 300 we have taken as lump sum. Calculate the grand total and divide it by the assumption. Divide it by the assumption, that is 10 square meters. Okay, so 10 square meters is the slab that we order. Okay, 10 square meter, hence we are ordering it in terms of slabs. Okay, so 10 square meter is the flooring area which we have assumed, and 10 square centimeter is the slab area that we will cover it with. Okay, so 1386 per square meter is the analysis of rate which we have arrived. So this is what is for granite, for granite. So for coming to flooring, you can see here for flooring, vitrified tile flooring, the same thing. Okay, vitrified tile flooring, you can see. So 10 square centimeter we have assumed, okay, we have assumed 10 square centimeter of flooring that is required. You have to calculate what? Mortar quantity. You can see here, cement mortar 1:4. Of how much thickness? 20 thickness. So 20 thickness multiplied by the area, you get the volume. Add 20% extra for unevenness, add 1/3 extra for dry volume, calculate the cement and sand quantities. Okay. Now, if you look here, vitrified tile size is what? 60 by 60. Okay, what? 60 by 60 centimeters, 60 by 60 centimeters. And the total floor area is what? 10 square centimeters, 10 square centimeters. Okay. Here you have to add 2.5% extra as wastages and breakages, wastages and breakages. So if you add to 10 square centimeters, if you add to 2.5% extra, it will be 10.25 square centimeters. Okay, so this is the square meter quantity of tiles that is required. Square meters of tiles that is required. Okay. Now for carrying of tiles, we have to add in lump sum some amount, that is 60 rupees they have added as lump sum for carrying your tiles. Okay. So you can calculate cement, sand, right? We have calculated that quantity. You can write down here and take out the amount that is required. Okay. Similarly, you can take out the cement for slurry bed. Cement for the slurry bed that they have assumed is 3.3 kgs per bag. You can assume the same thing, that you can assume 5 kgs per square meters. 5 kg per square meters. We have assumed how much? 10 square centimeters. So it will be 1 bag. So it will be 1 bag, right? 5 into 10, that is 50 kgs. That is nothing but 1 bag. You can take 5 kgs as assumption, no problem. Okay, they have taken less. You can take 5 kgs or you can take 3.5 kgs per square centimeters. Depends upon your work. Okay. So that is done. You can write down the labors that are required. Then you can calculate the grand total. Okay, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ easy there. This is all easy. Then coming to marble stone flooring, you can see here. Same thing as we have done for granite, right? As we have done for granite, you can take the same thing. Right, first calculate the cement mortar calculation. You have to do cement mortar takes 10 square centimeter as the assumed floor area. Calculate the material quantities, right? Material quantity we have calculated. Then here you can see, as we have done as we have done for granite, right? As we have done for granite, same thing you can follow, and you can prepare this particular table. As you have done same, you can take some extra 15% extra as for breakages and wastages. 15% extra for carrying of slab, you have to add extra some value you have to add. Then remaining things are same as we have done in granite. Remaining things you can calculate same. Now here you can see the next thing here is ceramic glazed floor tiles. Ceramic glazed tiles, that is 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter is the tile size. Okay. Here you can see 20 thick cement mortar, right? So you have to calculate the cement mortar based on the assumption, right? The assumption of the flooring area is what 10 square centimeters. So we know this particular extra things that we have to add 10-20% for unevenness, 1/3 or 35% extra for converting it to dry volume. Okay, so cement and sand calculation is the same thing as we have done previously. So a few things that you have to keep in mind, that for one bag of cement, right, one bag of cement, it will cover 10 square centimeters. One bag of cement will cover 10 square centimeters. Okay, so that assumption you can keep in mind for this particular cement calculation. Yeah, ceramic tiles, right? Ceramic tiles, don't forget to add 2.5% extra. So remember, for tiles, okay, for tiles, we have to add 2.5% extra for breakages and wastages. Okay, but when you are dealing with marbles or when you are dealing with granite, right, they wherein we are dealing in slabs, we are dealing in slabs. So here you have to take 15% extra when you are dealing with slabs. Okay, so here we are dealing with tiles, hence we will take 2.5 centimeter, sorry, 2.5 percentage as extra. Okay, but remember, when you are dealing with slabs, right, when you are dealing with marble slab or you are dealing with your granite slab, make sure you take it in terms of 15%. Okay, so this you have to take, and make sure you add carrying of tiles as lump sum quantity. Then the remaining things are same. Remaining things, that is your material quantities and your labor quantities, are same. Okay. So this is done. I think we are done with flooring. We are done with flooring. Okay. So if you have any doubt or anything you have not understood in flooring calculation, you can let me know. Okay. So we are done with flooring. I hope you are I hope you are following, and I hope you are there. You can raise your hand. You can let me know whether you are following. Please raise your hand and let me know that you are following and you are present in the class. Those who are there present and those who are actively listening, please raise your hand and let me know, so that I can have a check those who are active and those who are not. Everyone, please raise your hand and let me know whether you have understood the flooring calculations. Everyone, please raise your hand and let me know whether you are active. Okay. Thank you. You can lower your hand. Okay. So this is what is for flooring. We have studied today for brickwork. We have studied for flooring. Now the next thing that you have to do is what you have to look into roofing. Roofing is usually not asked. Roofing is not asked because it is a minor quantity. You can see it is very small. Okay, you can see it is done in half a page. So usually this will not be asked. Even if they ask you, you can assume what? You can assume 10 square centimeters of roofing that is required. Okay, along with the tiles that are required, you have to calculate the timber battens that are required. Okay, timber battens. So assume that it is what? It is in 0.06 cubic meters. So this quantity they have not shown the calculations also. So if this type of calculation will not be asked usually in the exam, they will give you the details how to calculate and what are the things that you need to assume. Okay, so this roofing Mangalore roof tiles, we will skip on this. We will come to this corrugated glazed, corrugated galvanized iron sheet. Okay, the corrugated roofing sheet which we use, right, in this format, it will be corrugations. So this roof sheeting of 0.63 mm thick, 0.63 mm thick roofing. So 10 square centimeter is the assumption that we do. Then here, what you have to do is you have to assume some amount of extra, right? Usually what we do. So 10 square centimeter is what the required roofing size that is required. So you can assume 2.5 centimeter as extra, 2.5 centimeters, sorry, 2.5 percentage of extra. You can assume 5% of extra. Okay, depends upon the who is estimating these quantities. So you can see here they have considered 2.8 percentage as extra. You can take as 2.5% as extra, or you can take 3% of extra, no problem. The answer what you get will be correct. Okay, no problem, it will not be wrong. You can assume 2.5%, you can assume 3%, you can also go up to 5%. Okay, so but your rate will increase by certain amount, right? Your rate will increase. So to keep your rate in economy, what you can do, you can minimize your wastages at site here. You can minimize your wastages you can keep your wastage percentage to minimum, right? You can go up to 10% of wastages also, but make sure at site you do not waste that much percent, right? Your rate will automatically increase if you increase your wastages. So we have to take care that the wastages are minimum, right? Make sure your wastages is around 2.5%, 3% is fine, right? This wastage is fine, but don't go more than 5%. Okay, so this is 2.5. Here they have assumed 2.8, hence the quantity that they have taken here. You can see that the quantity that they have taken here is 12.8 square centimeters. 12.8 square centimeters. Okay. So along with this particular things, we require some bolts, we require some nuts and screws, right? Hooks, nuts, screws, all these things, all these fixtures are required. So what we can do, we can assume all these quantities as 1 kgs. 1 kgs, we can assume all these quantities, right? So instead of taking 0.7, 1 and 1.4, you can assume all these quantities of 1 kg, 1 kg, 1 kg. Okay, assume that as 1 kg, and you can write down their per square, per rate, per kg rate, calculate their amount. Okay, then labor, regarding labor, here you can see we require carpenter, right? We require carpenter, we require blacksmith, because we have to do some fixtures, right? So we require blacksmith, and some beldas or mazdoors are required for this particular roofing work. Okay, so carpenter, blacksmith, and mazdoor. Along with this material calculation, we have looked into labor calculation, and don't forget to divide it by this assumption, that is 10 square centimeter of roofing we had assumed initially. So divide it by 10, you will get the answer in per square meter. So 460 rupees per square meter is the analysis of rate for this particular corrugated roof sheeting. Corrugated roof sheeting. So a certain amount of wastages you have to consider, right? I have told you 2.5 to 3% you can consider extra. So this extra is including wastages, right? It is including wastages, and it is including the lap which we provide, right? Half a corrugation lap which we provide. No, sorry, not half. They have assumed what 2 corrugation lap, meaning you have to we have to overlap by 2 corrugations. Suppose this is 2 corrugations, right? So this is your 2 corrugation overlap which you have to provide. So this is your 1 sheet, and this is your second sheet, right? So you can see 2 corrugation of overlap which we have provided. So this is sideways, and in vertical way you can see that it is 15 centimeter which we have to overlap. So this is your top sheet, and bottom sheet which is overlap, which is going like this, right? And this overlap is 15 centimeters. This vertical overlap, or this in this side overlap, it is 15 centimeter, and this sideway overlap is how much? 2 corrugations. 2 corrugations. So this overlap also we have to consider under this extra thing that we have considered as 2.5%. So all these things are covered in this 2.5 percentage extra. So we are done today with brickwork. We have looked into roofing, and we have looked into flooring. Okay. So I think remaining things we can continue later. I think your class timing is over, right? Do we have time? Is your next class being continued by sir, or can I continue with the class? Can anyone let me know whether you have a class? Class ಇದೆ ನಿಲ್ರಿ next class. Can I continue, or you have a class?
Sir, it is sir.
Class ಇದೆ. Okay. So you can give your attendance, and meanwhile, if any doubts, you can ask me here, or you can ask me in your group. Okay, give your attendance. Make sure you give your attendance before leaving. Please give your attendance, and once you give your attendance, you are free to exit the session. So I hope you have understood the flooring calculation, the roofing calculation, and the brickwork calculation. Sorry, brickwork, and as well as stone masonry, right? We have looked into stone masonry. So I hope all these things are clear. So we have reached around 40, which was our aim, right? Which was our aim. We have reached around 40. We have reached around 38. No problem. Remaining things we will continue on Monday. Monday we have a class. Monday we will continue. Okay. So you can give your attendance, and you can you are free to exit the session. Okay. So with this, I think